have a 1-0 advantage as a result of that. They're going up against Team USA here, who just fought their way back in the losers bracket finals against Team Excellent as we casted. And they took that series 2-0, and honestly, they handled Team Excellent pretty well. So they got a good amount of momentum going into this matchup, and I know people are excited for this. We got to really get this started. With that said, I'm going to be joined by my co-caster, changing things up for the grand finals here. I got Panny coming back. Panny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Break. Excited for this grand finals matchup. Two American, kind of American teams. You don't see that every once in a while. I mean, both teams have EU players as well, but you like to keep it, US East, so nobody complains either.
That's
exciting match.
That is very true. That is very true. So obviously, that is a fun thing to point out. But again, State Green, they've just been looking so strong and moving into this. We do have Team USA on the other hand. Now, the unfortunate thing about this, well, I say kind of unfortunate. Really, yesterday, of course, as I'm sure pretty much everyone tuning in by now knows. USA did forfeit in the winter bracket finals against State Green here. They unfortunately weren't able to field 5 at the time that it was started, so as a result, they forfeited the match. And so then that's how they were bumped down to the losers bracket finals in the first place. So, in a sense, you can say this is them trying to, prove the fact that, you guys got a forfeit win against us. We're going to play hard here in the grand finals, and we'll see what we can make happen. Now, Panny, one major thing to note right off the bat, I'm sure people are aware of. You look at State Green, they are using a ringer. They are using well, not even necessarily, I mean, they are using a sixth player on their team. His name is Mega Smurfin. I personally don't know anything about him. He is playing in place of Chessie for this game, at least. I do believe there's a chance Chessie could make the second game when that happens, but at least for the first game, he's stepping in. So worth noting. Do you know anything about this guy, Mega Smurfin?
No idea.
Okay.
Never seen him play. I don't know who it is, so... hopefully he's good though. Hopefully he's good.
He is on the HoN roster. He was on the HoN roster going into cycle number 1, of course, for State Green. So, they clearly planned for this. Obviously, I assume they know the player. But it is kind of funny how we've never actually seen this player before. But playing here for State Green, so we'll see what he brings to the table. He has some big shoes to fill, though. As again, Chessie, the one he's replacing. So. I kind of wonder how the roles are going to look, too, with that said. Because Chessie has been their carry player as of late,
yeah.
So what do you think? I mean,
I think that... I don't know, maybe Z-Freak or Minots might switch some type of role.
Yeah.
And let maybe Brown support, just because Brown's latest games show that he has a lot of Empath, Parasite, Glacius, Magnus, so maybe he's a support player. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Z-Freak is a very good jungle player as well, and maybe Midas can play carry. I don't, that's just a thought. And then again, I don't know who Brown is, so maybe he's the next Chew. We'll see though.
You never know. You never know. These players can just come out of nowhere and all of a sudden take over the scene. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting again to see how that plays out. But we're moving along here. As again, you saw them confirming in chat, so once again, we'll confirm here. It is a best out of 5. However, State Green is up 1-0 as a result of coming from the winners bracket. That's how it was all of last season as well for for season 1, I should say, for HoN Tour. At least starting out here in season 2, the same with that said. So. There you go. As far as moving along, so the initial bans, what were they? Engineer, Warbeast, Corrupted Disciple, Scout was actually the first ban coming out from Peter Pan Am. But I don't know if you were actually watching last game, but of course
yeah.
we got to cast TT Esports. I got a couple players. Anyways, Team USA over here, and they actually banned Warbeast as well against Team Excellent. So. It seems like they just don't want to have to deal with a Warbeast, which is I find interesting.
I mean, the hero's very annoying. He's like Wild Soul in the way that he can kind of just pull the lane over and over in the suicide role. But I don't know if it's something specific that's separating them from banning him. Maybe they just dislike the hero. Mm-hmm. But I don't really think it's like. A respect ban or something, just because they've been doing it every game so far. I'm just assuming the team itself does not like the hero. But obviously Scout is just a very regular ban. But hey, they're banning 2 suicides, so they want to get those out of the way.
All right. So as far as the picks go, you had Pebbles, Aluna, and Pharaoh coming out here for Team USA, Pharaoh. Zai had an impressive Pharaoh performance in Game 1 of that series against Team Excellent earlier on today, so
Yeah.
sure he's working off of that. Master of Arms, Keeper Ophelia. That's Stay Green-esque right there. That is a Stay Green lineup coming out.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have a lot of push as well there, and even counter push for that matter. But yeah, it is. Swindle likes drafting a lot of heroes, like 2 junglers who, two heroes have the potential to jungle, one obviously taking suicide. He drafted his carry as well as Emily could be support, depending on what they choose to do. But we're probably going to be looking at maybe a Rally or Deadwood being picked up now as that final or as that initiator role, and then maybe take another hero for that short lane, which could be a lot of heroes, or they could even rotate MOA. So they have a bit of options as Team USA kind of shows that they have a dual mid Pebbles Luna. They have a Suicide Pharaoh, and now they pretty much either need to pick a jungler or get another dual lane going.
Yeah.
In the lineup.
All right, so we'll see what State Green does to ultimately decide to go with. Again, also clarify, I know it's already people once again bringing it up in chat, but just to clarify, Singularity, that is Tralfamador. So get that out of the way here, as far as that is concerned. So that is indeed Tralfamador. Now, their next tier of picks going to be coming out. You have the Torturer Parasite, Balfagor Tempest, Pyromancer Wildsill. Bands coming out, and State Green, that they've been not only playing very similar to they played at the end of last season, but also have been showing that they're not afraid to run just so much push, especially surrounding around the Balfagor, and that's why Peter banned. Now I will say Chessie was the one that played Balfagor, and of course he's not here, so you could look at that and maybe think, okay, is Balfagor worth it still banning against these guys? But in the end, I'm sure Minos could play him as well. I'm sure Swinamels. I'm sure anyone could really play him in the end. So probably not. Probably still worthy of the ban, but again.
Yeah. Balfagor. I have a bit of experience because I was playing a team the other day, and we were against a very high MMR. It was like 2,000 MMRs, and one of my friends just really wanted to try hard, so we picked Kira the Force, Ophelia, Balfagor, Demented Shaman, and when you're going up against that, it's even if you have a team of counter push, there's nothing you can do to stop it unless you have artillery. Pretty much, it's the only hero who can actually counter push that amount, and it's just very stupid to go up against. I mean, if you screw up one team fight, that team is just going to get 3, 4, 5 towers to get racks fast and end the game. And it's just it's very risky to be going up against the push lineup because one mistake coming out from Team USA and they could just be done.
The game could be over. Yeah, and again, just State Green. They are running a lot of similarity in terms of lineups compared to last season, compared to Season 1, but it just feels like it's even more in your face. It's more aggressive, it's more at you, and don't expect to see a slow-paced game is kind of where I'm getting at. Now, with that said, we do have the Sandwraith final pickup coming out here for Team USA, so Sandwraith obviously going to be in the hands of Tralfamador here, and he too is a hero that's going to step up lately in the competitive scene. And something worth mentioning too, which I don't even think we really talked too much about, but the Corrupted Disciple ban coming out from Swinomelons. That was also another ban of those initial bans. That's definitely kind of worth, you look at it as well, interesting. Okay, don't expect to see that hero, but I know Tralf especially, and I think in both games against Excellent, he actually played Corrupted as well against them. So, but hey, Sandwraith works just fine. So. Go
we can pretty much see Team USA's lineup now. They have that Sandwraith, Glacius bottom. They can obviously even run a Trialing if they want to, but you're going to be looking at Zai with that Suicide Pharaoh, solo top or solo long lane, Big Kid, and most likely going to be a Luna mid, and then of course Glacius and Sandwraith bottom. And for Hellborn, Zephyr completes it. Going to be seeing who's going to be playing what now.
Yeah.
Looks like Zephyrg might be taking Suicide actually. Yeah. Okay. Didn't expect that. But Zephyrg is he's a very knowledgeable player, and he's very good with mechanics. So I feel like whatever role you put Zephyrg on, he'll do solid.
Yeah, I think that's just what it comes down to in the end. I mean, put him on the Suicide. Obviously, this guy that's stepping in as the ringer, he is going to be playing that support, and not that support is the easiest role to play necessarily. It's just more of a case of as long as you don't just feed over and over and over again, you're at least doing enough for you. Now that's nothing against this Mega Smurfer guy. So I'm kind of sitting here like he's a bad player. I'm sure he's honestly a solid player. The fact that he is even on State Green's roster as a 6th or 7th. So. But it is something, again, obviously keep in mind, this being the grand finals and everything, you would like to see the full 5-man roster, but not going to be it for game number 1. So, I got to change the in-game interface real quickly. That is not correct. I'm going to actually have to add it on here, so As far as the Zephyr pickup, though, let's talk about that, Pandy. What do you think about the Zephyr pickup here?
Well, I mean, last time we saw Zephyr, he was a pain in the ass to deal with, which was when we thought Team SR versus Team Excellent, actually.
Yeah.
But in this game, he's going to be prioritized a lot more than he was in the other game. There's not really any other carry which they're going to be falling back on. Of course, Swindlemons is playing Hag, but after Ophelia and Keeper of the Forest start pushing, the farm is going to be completely prioritized for 2 heroes, and that's very easy to manage as a team. You don't have 3-4 people that are fighting for farm, so I feel like Zephyr pretty much just needs to get that helmet of Black Legion early on. They're going to get some early towers top, most likely. And if things go according to plan in that sense, Zephyr should just start taking off, and it's going to end up being to the point where Zephyr is going to be pretty much hunting every single player in Legion during team fights, while Sandrith is doing the same thing. So it's going to go down, to who does more damage. But I really enjoy the pick. Tanks are always really nice in lineups that have pushing ability and heal.
Yeah.
It just depends on how well they plays, and I'm sure he'll do a great job on this Zephyr.
Yeah, and Limp, just like his brother Chessie, both known as very, very good Zephyr players in the end. You think Zephyr, and honestly, them two are,
in the blood.
First names. Yeah, exactly. It's in the blood for that family, apparently. Playing Zephyr in Heroes of New Earth. It runs in the family. So yeah, he is going to be at that top short lane, of course. He's going to be babysat here by Master. Now, with that said, I mean, what do you think of that decision to send the Zephyr Master of Arms top lane instead of have Hat go to the middle lane, who's actually being initiated on right here? I think it's going to be a kill by... Oh my god, it actually is going to be a kill! Glacius came in with a flank. I didn't even see him coming initially, but Peter Pandam gets credit for the Bloodlust kill right there. Well, how about that?
I mean, if you've been watching Team USA, hopefully last cast too, I mean, you saw they did a level 1 Conga. They're doing very unexpected things. I mean,
yeah.
When is the last time you saw like a 3, 4, 5 man gank mid? It's been a long time. And nobody expects it to happen, especially against the Hag. Very nice pickup, especially from Peter Pandam. Going to finish off Swindlemons there. Does get the Bloodlust as well, so early boots. But yeah, a nice lead that they want to get. And back to what you were saying about that MOA Zephyr mid, it doesn't have potential. It has a bigger potential to lose than it does to win. So they just want to prioritize the farm and make sure that they win top, and get some farm on Hag. Same thing that actually Pew did with his team in against Team SR, that same game with Zephyr. They didn't put it mid because they just felt like a Zephyr lane is weak, and it generally is.
Yeah. Well, actually,
top over here.
Yeah, top lane is also having the max change. Sure enough, you see right there, my nuts actually on Ophelia, going to trap Pharaoh in with that Minotaur, the final auto attack from, well, Mega Smurfin. There you go. Gets a kill for his side. Playing that support Master of Arms, so I'm sure that's got to boost his morale just a little bit right there. Here at game number 1, but middle lane, the Glacius was sitting there, but obviously Wretched Hag kind of spotted it coming this time around, and she does react to it. So, good reaction coming out from the Hellborn team. 2-minute rune, Ophelia trying to get it, but instead it's picked up by Aluna. She picks up a haste rune here. Gonna run by, actually is gonna run into Ophelia most likely. Nope, gonna fall back before, and instead go back to the middle lane, but good rune control coming up by Riser.
Yeah, definitely when you don't have a jungler, you should just be controlling everything over with both supports, top, bottom. That's very important. I mean, that's what's going to get you a lead at some point, just by having 2 support. So yeah, great job by Riser. Also blocking the jungle for Ophelia, but it looks like my opponents didn't use 2 F-wards to find that ward that they placed. So, at least he did get it. But yeah, his jungle is pretty screwed over. He's going to get as much farm. But yeah, very nice game coming up from him as well. I mean, those that large camp, if you pretty much get anything besides the Vulture Lord, you're able to gank. So it's very nice for him.
Look at Glacius kind of having fun with Keeper the Forest over here. Keeper and Glacius going to go back at it in the jungle. Oh, trying to see if he can get the last hits. I think the creep's got that first one. Looks like Glacius even using the Tundra Blast to snipe out one of the creep kills. So some fun back and forth there. But making Z-Freak's life difficult here. Kind of Z-Freak at the same time. He's kind of going back to his jungle roots here. And playing in the jungle, of course, on Keeper in this case. But in the meantime, Singularity, aka Trouth, on Sandwraith is, I assume, having free farm, and yeah, it is showing 20 and 7 creep score. Compare that to Zephyr's 20 and 18, so Zephyr's on top of those denies at that top lane, but
definitely keeping lane control
close. Very close, yeah. A little easier, obviously, in his case.
Yep. I mean, yeah, of course, you're going up against a Keeper bottom who can just continue to pull creeps, but Z-Freak is sitting at around 10 creep kills, and with Glacius kind of constantly going back and forth, he doesn't really feel very safe in this lane because he could get hunted down pretty easily. But at the same time, he is getting vision from his brother, Swindlemons, who's noticing Peter Pandam's constantly going mid. So it's a bit of information he can use to stay in the lane bottom. And there we go. He's going to be pulling right now with his creeps as well. So we'll get some more lane control.
Yes, sir. Zai throwing out the rocket right there, hitting Ophelia, saying what's up. Maybe try to cancel some regen, but in the end, able to get that off and go back into the jungle. Obviously, this game it's definitely a game that's gonna develop. I mean, this early on stage, not the most action necessarily happening, although it is already a 1-1 hero co game. But gonna stay in the lanes for the most part until those level 6s and 7s start popping up and start expecting some good tower pushing and maybe even some team fight engagements, of course, when it comes down to it. You see right here, they're gonna actually pull the creep wave into the jungle, so they're trying to counteract what Keeper's doing, of course, at the bottom lane. And Singularity will take advantage of that. Now he is going to run into Wretched Hag right here, but Hag's only level 4. Not much she's going to do by herself. If steal some creeps, maybe. That could work. Nope, not able to do so. Nice job right there. By Trouf, actually. And she will be forced to blink away. So this is okay. Just some little mind games going on, but in the end, Trouf gets the better of the farm. But Zephyr, he is continuing to go up and up himself. 385 gold per minute and counting. For Limp. So that early helm of the Black Legion's coming out. Do you think it's get helm, start pushing, or what?
I mean, when you have a suicide like Pharaoh, who's he can't get anything, he's level 2. Yeah, I'd push right away because the second, actually, I'd wait for Ophelia to be 5. That's the important thing. It's not really what Zephyr gets. He'll get his helm any second, but it's to make sure that Ophelia has at least 2 creeps he can push with, and keeping Zai, to the point where he can't max or even nearly get a high level of Tormented Soul, because that's the only counter push that he has.
Yeah.
Of course, Luna could rotate top and so could Glacius, and they could defend that pretty well if they wanted to. We're going to see if they actually choose to invest enough time, but as of right now, Minot's going to continue to farm. Still, at this point in the game, his jungle's clearing up a bit. He's level 5, has all his spawns now to work with. So sadly, they're all Vulture Lords, but
yeah.
Maybe he'll just farm his level 7 now and take it a bit more slow until he gets the creeps that he wants to push.
Yeah. So back to the top lane. There's the helm of the Black Legion finished, already with the red booties as well, coming up for Zephyr, of course. See bottom side, Sandwraith not afraid to use that Desert's Curse to harass Keeper of the Forest actually quite a bit right there. And again, his farm just like Zephyr's is up there. Although Zephyr is a little bit ahead, and then Pebble's also though competing. He has 1,500 gold saved up. I believe he might have just purchased Steam Boots though, or getting the power supply as well. So he's getting that early build-up, of course. But here comes that tower push. Pharaoh and Aluna, not much they can do as expected.
The Hellborn takes down
the
a
tower
Legion
kill.
tower.
440 gold per minute already for Zephyr. That's scary, man. I mean, again, kind of saw it coming, but still is a scary start here in favor of Stay Green. So.
Yeah, they're going to go for the second tower here. The nice thing is that when you have a carrier, or when you have a tank, even though Zephyr can do both, actually before I speak, it's Sandwith going to initiate.
No.
Okay, actually mid. They're diving pretty deep over here into Swindlemons.
Oh, not going to happen either. And actually back to the top lane. Typhoon goes down. Down falls Aluna. Pharaoh also up in the midst of it. I kind of wonder if they maybe thought Sandwraith actually initiated or not. Or maybe some miscommunication, or they just thought they might have been able to pick off Ophelia or something like that. But in the end, Aluna goes down, and it's also going to be a secondary tower kill now. More than likely, Zai's going to try to make something happen.
The Hellborn takes down a Legion tower.
Already 2 tower kills in favor of Stay Green.
Yep, Limp with 1.5k gold. Now we'll see if he just chooses to go, fast. Shaman's Headdress, he can do that. I think he might just upgrade his boots right now and start farming the jungle a bit more before he chooses to do anything else. Okay, so he's going to get Ghost Marches and Mystic Investments. He has a couple options. He actually has a lot of options, but I think he's going to go for more of that carry, except for, I don't know, he could go tank. It can work a lot of ways, but when you have a tank in your team and you push early towers, what you should be doing is just continuing to to keep up the pressure and not really spend too much time farming on the tank, especially. So we'll see how long Limp spends in this jungle, but by doing that, he's pretty much kicking Minots out. So they might even just push with 4 people and have Keeper of the Forest and Ophelia maybe push the same lane. Secret level 7 right now, so he's in a great position to just wait.
Well, something else to note too is if you are going to get an aggressive, group out team push lineup, you need those also big support items earlier on, the team support items. Bottom lane, by the way, Glacius getting cut out. Wretched Hag happens to be here. Keeper of the Forest charging with auto attacks. He has root, but not necessary. Peter Pan will fall right there. Swinamel's on Hag, actually, getting credit for the kill. But going back to that, we do say, I saw Pickled Brain purchased by Ophelia, so I believe the Ring of Sorcery is going to be finished on her soon. It is also finished on Keeper of the Forest, so they're going to have a couple Ring of Sorceries, and then you got to figure, obviously, the Astrolabe. Very important. In fact, with that said, I'm a little surprised, I don't know if it's the same for you, but that they both decided to go Ring of Sorcery here. Maybe one go Astrolabe, one go Ring of Sorcery. Could have been more efficient for ultimately all grouping up, but at the same time, they are spread out. And double Ring of Sorcery is not bad by any means either, so I'm sure they eventually will get the Astrolabe, but would you like to see an Astrolabe as well as Ring of Sorcery, or is double Ring fine?
I like what they're doing now, yeah. I think it's better, just because if you get an Astrolabe onto Ophelia without getting Mana Ring independently, she can't do much, because she can't really use all of her spells in an efficient way. Now she can do that, and the same thing with Keeper. But and at the same time, you're dealing with a Zephyr who has a very small mana pool, so it will even help to have him get a lot of mana. Actually, speaking of mid.
Oh, they want to try to take out Ophelia, and they will. Nice ported from Troubledore right there, but at what cost? He's going to go the uphill. Typhoon's put down. He gets away, though. There's the gust. It hits, but he can't get gusted over the ledge. He barely got over the ledge with that Desert's Curse. Hag is chasing as well, but they just can't get the kill. So, actually a pretty good fight-off right there coming out for Team USA. That looks like Master of Arms is able to pick off Pharaoh in the meantime, and now Pebbles needs to be a little careful. Zephyr wants to go in, but he is out of mana, so it doesn't have a gust to use. It looks like there might reset, though. Yep, there's the gust coming in right there. Powerthel's going to connect. But Legion team falling back to the tower. And again, no casualties. So just a pretty well-played fight, honestly, by both sides. A lot of ultimates were used, though, by the Hellborn team. Not able to get... they only got one kill in the end, so...
Yeah, I think it was just unfortunate. They were really nice Pebbles stats, actually. But they should have tried to initiate onto the Sandwraith when he killed the Ophelia. He was in a pretty bad position right there. They weren't able to lock him down, and eventually he got over the cliff, and that kind of ruined things for them, because they probably were all trying to focus in, and it was just it was a very bad position for them to go on him. They did kill onto the Pharaoh at least, so Mega Smurf is currently 3-0 and just carrying his team right now.
Yeah.
Doing great, but we'll see. They're probably going to reset 45 seconds for both Zephyr and Keeper of the Forest ultimate, and we're probably going to see them, go for another fight or a push there as well. But BK's probably going to be able to finish his portal key before that, so that could be very, very huge for Team USA in the next team fight.
Yeah, that's almost necessary, you could say, because it is starting to, as expected, really get to that point of getting completely out of control here in favor of the Hellborn team. In fact, you see those next tier of items coming out. Plated Greaves just finished by Keeper. You had Zephyr, he purchased something himself. It is going to be the Shaman's Headdress finishing up for him. So he is really bulked up. The Astrolabe is coming along very nicely for Ophelia, already with the bracers, of course. So she's actually still without boots herself, by the way. But just prioritizing to get those team support items. Do you think that's a problem? Should he get the red boots, or just needs to get the Astrolabe first?
Yeah, he should get boosts, but then again, Pebbles is going to kill him with a combo if he doesn't have Astrolabe. So it's kind of a trade if he's willing to make, but the creeps are what's generally important at this stage, and he has 3 now, pretty good ones as well. And they might be grouping up, they might start going for a push over here. Swindlemons might buy a TP as well. Of course, you have a Thief Freak and Swindle just continuing the farm, so they might even take it a bit slow over here in the push. Might have Amoy use that goo and consume a bit more Pebbles this time. He does need 100 gold for that portal key, just if they knew. That would be very, very important for them. But he's going to get it right now after this great most likely, yeah. And he has a haste rune, so we're going to see what's going to happen in this fight. But if he can prioritize maybe killing that Ophelia, it could be pretty huge for Team USA.
Can they do it before the tower goes down? The portal key is being delivered right here. They have invulnerability? No, they're just going to give it up. This is going to be an easy tower kill.
Down a Legion tower.
They will get the initial tower. I mean, look at Zephyr, man. 18 armor already. He has a Nature's Veil applied, of course. I mean, that's only level 3 Nature's Veil. The Plated Greaves, it's just already so freaking tanky, man. And on top of that, he even got the level 1 windshield now that he's able to pick up because he's level 10. So they're going to go straight to the secondary tower. What do you do if you're Team USA? You were talking about pick off Ophelia maybe for Pebbles. Look for that opportunity. He has the race rune, has the haste rune, as you mentioned. Sandwraith farming top, of course. Or no, that's actually Zaya up here farming top. Well, Sandwraith is up there, but Sandwraith is farming bottom in the meantime. He does have his Energizer finished, as I said, but what do you think of that decision? They just flat out gave up secondary tower there, so
Yeah, I mean, they weren't in a position to defend the first tower, and by the time that they even thought about defending the second, I don't know. I think they felt like they just realized that they couldn't do anything. You pretty much saw everybody hiding from or from the SG, except for Zephyr and Hag for a little bit as well as Keeper. But you have a lot of people hiding. You have a lot of heals. I mean, you have Master of Arms ultimate and Ophelia ultimate on top of an Astrolabe that's going to be completed right now. And
Jeez.
as much as Team USA wants to fight, I think they feel like they need a bit more farm on Sandy Wraith. I mean, even though, going back to what I said about Pebbles getting a kill onto Ophelia, the second he does it, he's risking his own life because they have a Keeper of the Forest. And the thing, if he gets ultimated and dies, Team USA just loses all their momentum in the team fight. But top lane, they do get a kill onto Hag. Yeah, so that's what they need, pick off some farming, which they're going to get now, and they're going to go for a push here. Probably going to get the tower, unless SG feels like it's necessary to.
The Legion takes down a Hellborn tower!
But, yeah, I mean, the items are coming on very fast for SG. And Portal Key may be purchased right now onto Keeper of the Forest as well, and apparently Condor.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, and especially with the Mirage being on cooldown now. I mean, if Pharaoh Rocket comes in, so they know they're doing Kongor, but you don't care if you're State Green. You are ready to team fight, especially without that Mirage being up. So, obviously, a great decision coming out from State Green here, as expected, and it's gonna be a free Kongor kill. Another Rocket coming in, but again, if you're the Legion team, you're not even worried about trying to counter it. You're just pushing elsewhere. That's exactly what they're doing at the top lane. So Team USA at least going to try to get a secondary tower for it. I don't think they're even going to be able to do that, though. Yeah, they're going to have to fall back before. There goes the Kongor kill. Maybe see 1 or 2 TPs. Nothing just yet. They do port back Wretched Hag, though. And the top tower is going to stay alive as here comes a TP. And it is going to be Keeper. So yeah, you talked about the big item. 2,500 gold now on Keeper. I kind of wonder what he's going for this rate. Maybe like a Soul's Bulwark even, instead of the Portal Key, but... he's good to go. Barriato, you talked about, finished on Zephyr. Astrolabe, obviously, on my nuts here playing Ophelia, so... And now he has a Mighty Blade on top of it all. Does limp, that is.
It's going to be very, very tanky and very difficult to kill. I'm curious to see what Z-Fig is going to buy, as well as Swindle, because I've noticed that Swindle, as a player, loves to go Sacrificial Stone on heroes like Hag in the push lineup, but he hasn't bought it yet. He has the gold, though, so I'm not sure if he... might go for a different item just because he has a token. He might be feeling a bit more liberal with his hero now, and maybe he can go for more of an aggressive item.
Yeah.
Then again, the only tower left to push is bottom, so they might even just choose to farm it a bit before they push and save the whole token, maybe go for a bigger item. He has 2,000 gold saved up, so he can try to go for a Grimoire of Power maybe before... we'll see what he chooses to go, but it's very squishy at the moment, so hopefully whatever he gets, it's going to give him a bit more HP, and that's what's important. Just,
yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I think it's a little overkill to go the Sacrificial Stone here. I do agree with you. I mean, he does go that a lot, but this game, they already have played Greaves. They don't really have a huge threatening physical presence, at least yet, on the Legion side, so I have a feeling he might be going more the usual, even something like a Lightbrand here. You do talk about maybe he needs to bulk up, so that wouldn't necessarily help that right away, at least, but I feel like that's what he's going to be going for, but we'll see. I mean, he could just go straight Shrunken Head, but I don't know if that would be the case. Obviously, the Lightbrand helps you get it quicker. Yeah.
He would. The problem is he just would be doing 0 auto attack damage, and they need that right now. Yeah, it's easy to get this here Lightbrand.
Oh,
at this point of the game.
No. Peter Van Dam!
Waste of time.
All by himself.
Yeah, Peter gonna fall very fast, but Zephyr at this point in the game is gonna get kited. It's just how the hero works. If he screws up a gust or something, he's just gonna people can just run around him because he doesn't have a slow or anything. Yeah. Of course, if the ultimate should expire, so you're gonna need some auto attack damage coming out from Hellborn, and that's what Wretched Hag's gonna be able to offer. But at the same time, Limp is slowly building up. It's just he buys the Ice Brand, so it's gonna get to the point where I feel like SG's gonna out farm, and there might not be too much the Team USA can do. And it's they're gonna. I have a feeling like they're gonna have to fight with some buybacks very soon against the push that SG has.
Oh no, this is not gonna help things. Pebbles is going to be picked off. He runs into the Ophelia trap right there. Wretched Hag happened to be nearby as well to assist with some good damage, and yeah, he is dead. So not what you need if you're Team USA right now. You cannot be getting picked off at this point.
Keeper of the Forest actually going for a straight Restoration Stone.
Wow.
I see he purchased an Arcana. I think he also has the Sustainer in the base.
Yeah.
So because he had a lot of gold saved up. So yeah, I mean that's not a bad item either. I mean
You go
they
straight
want to
for
end
that.
the game now. I mean,
Why not, right?
if you're going up against a Sanders, you don't want to go into late game. And he almost has his Mock of the Brilliance, just needs another 1.5k gold. But you know he doesn't have it, and that's what's important. And they're going to be able to get this tower for sure. And I don't know if they're going to come into max yet. I don't see a reason not to, but
Yeah.
they might want to play it a bit safe as Pebbles responded, you know, a couple seconds ago. And they might want to finish an item. I don't know. I mean, the Secret needs a lot of gold, to be honest, before he can get it. He still needs another 1.5k, and it's a couple minutes of farming. Token of Life has 3 minutes, so I don't think they can beat that. But we'll see what the Chiefs do. They have a decision making. They have decisions to make right now, and, you know, whether to push right away or play it a bit more safe and farm up before they go.
Well, you know, that kind of brings up a little more of a hindsight now, but what do you think of Trough deciding to still just go the Mock of Brilliance route here, even with this game as it's been just so aggressive early push? Do you think the Mock is still the worthy route, kind of the risky but still almost necessary route?
Yeah, I still feel like he needs to get it. There's not really any other item in this game that's going to make him do the damage that he should be doing. And it's not even late for a Mock. It's just the fact that they're pushing so much.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the bad part. But I mean, there's not really an item he can get that will just enhance his performance in this game, because he can go for a Frost Burn, but he's going to be going for 1% at a time. He's going to be dealing around 150 damage, and he's just not going to cut it. He needs to get that Mock in, and you know, that's going to even increase his farm more, because it will be obviously helping him farm a lot faster. So that's what he's hoping to do. Maybe get another item off Mock top lane over here.
They're trying, but that is Luna, or I mean, that's Zephyr after all. Now they get the tower kill, so that's really what they were going for. And then Farrell's going to die as a result. So yeah, that could have been anything more than just simply going for the tower kill, of course. Right there. You know what didn't help either? He actually ultied a creep instead of Zephyr. Although that might have even been what he was going for in that case, if he wasn't even going for a kill. Just simply, again, trying to get the tower kill. But in the end, so they get the tower kill, but obviously Farrell falls. Aluna did make it out at least. Is it worth it, or?
Well, I think they're honestly doing whatever they can to just delay the game.
Okay.
So if they feel like that can delay the game, yeah, sure. But I mean, Zai's already up in 5 seconds. So, and maybe in that sense, they're helping Sandwich just get a bit more time to farm his Mock of the Brilliance, which is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They're going to be pushing a lot of lanes, and any chance they get to get a tower kill or delay, they're going to probably take it, because it's really their only chance in this game.
You see Wretched Hag on the uphill right here. He's looking for an opportunity. Almost a Blacksmith. Sandwraith was pushing. I wish we saw Blacksmith. Sandwraith was pushing up, but he falls back, obviously, before too much happens. They're going to try to jump Zephyr. He is by himself, kinda. He has support in the vicinity, and that is a Zephyr, after all, that can survive forever at this rate. So yeah, not gonna go risky there. Instead, Pebbles just kind of pushes him out of the lane, and will gladly take the farm. But yeah, like you said, just trying to delay the game as much as possible for Sandwraith, and he is going to have the Mock at this rate, it looks like, going into the next fight. So that's it's a step in that direction that they absolutely need.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be getting 300 gold for that. Token not going to be used. 15 seconds left on that. But I like that. I mean, if you're trading a token for a double keeper ultimate, I think it's definitely worth it, which he's going to have in 150 gold. On top of that, Zephyr's now, he has Frostburn, so he's going to be a lot more mobile in fights that he can actually be carrying. And Swindle Mounts won't have 1,100 HP anymore, as he should be able to finish his Grimoire power before the next fight, which needs another 400 gold. I don't really think that he should be going any other item. Going for something like a Shrunken Head is just going to take him another 1,000 gold, which, I mean, he could get, but damage is just important in this fight, and I think Grimoire is fine, because they have to focus. If they want to focus Swindle, they're all going to be dying because of Zephyr. So
Yeah.
And you have to remember there's a lot of heal as well coming out from Hellborn to save Swindle if they choose to go on it.
Well, it does make for, as far as a spectator's concerned, you know, this is one of those games where it's not a whole lot of actual team fight action going on, but again, it makes sense on both sides what they're really doing here. If anything, Stay Green now is going to wait for the next Conqueror like we're talking about. We got Team USA, they can't really fight, so they're fine with just delaying it and trying to avoid those fights. So, but it is going to be also one of those games where that clash is eventually going to come, and it's going to be brutal for one side or the other. So we'll see. We'll wait and see when that happens. There's a Restoration Stone, 24-minute Resto Stone. coming out by Z-Freak, playing the Keeper here. It's been a while since he's played Keeper in a competitive match, I think it's safe to say. So he's probably, again,
That's true.
there,
He's happy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, top lane, actually.
Oh no. Wretched Hag gonna be jump fire, glacial downpour and everything. They want this kill! No! The team of the Master's Call. That is the global presence right there. Both the Ophelia's touch and the Master's Call came out. And guess what? They live. The gust to stop the TP. Pebble's gonna fall. And again, you can't blame. They gotta take risks, man, but that's just what makes this team so difficult. It's so hard to kill anyone.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was talking about. They have the means to save Swindelbones in that situation. Now it's perfect by them. Now PK does have a buyback, so he might have to be using it for this team fight. Then again, it is 30 seconds. He might be able to delay just 20 more and should be fine. Sander at the bottom over here gonna try to push out a bit more to delay them, but he's gonna have to TP very soon because he doesn't have ultimate for another 55 seconds.
Oh wow, yeah.
And that's gonna be a pain in the ass to fight without, because that is a very crucial ultimate in a team fight.
Yeah.
These raps are gonna drop. They're not gonna defend them, I guess.
Hey,
The Legion
it's one of those
takes down
games. I mean,
Tower.
you're fine giving up a set of racks.
A
You never
Legion
really say that
barracks
often,
gets destroyed.
but do they have a choice? I mean, he doesn't have the ultimate, like you said. Exactly. It
A Legion barracks
sucks,
gets
but you
destroyed.
kind of just have to, or else if you try to fight right there, there's a very good chance you're going to lose that fight, and you probably will just concede after that anyway. So, might as well just give it up and see what you can make happen.
And they're searching for that pickoff. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen on really anybody except for maybe Ophelia and Master of Arms.
Oh my god.
For this Legion Tide to get a kill. And Trelf is taking up a bit now. He's going to go for that Beast Heart, maybe go with straight Behemoth Hearts. Going to be kind of, or he could go Elder Parasite, but I'm not really sure. I feel like he still needs more damage, but then again, there's so much AoE coming out from Hellborn that he might just need a bit more HP to stay alive.
Yeah.
We'll see. A nice reason why, for those some people might be thinking, why isn't Z-Freak going for a portal key in a game like this? Because you don't really see much initiation from Hellborn. And the core reason for that is just, you're going up against a Sander in team fights. You're not going to get a portal key off. The second he ultimates, especially with that Mach, it's just going to cancel your portal key and it's just going to nullify the whole presence of the item.
So why bother, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be going in a Restoration Stone, and he finishes it very fast. Kongor's up now. They're going to be going for that as well, and they're probably just going to take that and push bottom as soon as they can.
You know what? On top of this too, I think Ophelia's actually pretty close to a Staff of the Master. I mean, she has a close. I think I've seen her at least purchase one other item, so she's not going to necessarily have it right here by any means, but. Oh, she's working towards it, and you're looking at a 30-second Ophelia's touch if she picks that up here. So even more of a reason how it's going to be difficult.
I mean, the important thing about her having a glowstone is just because it's giving her HP, and everybody's just trying to bulk up from Hellborn so they can't get picked off because they know that the main damage dealer from Legion is just that Pebble's combination. If that's not going to do much, then what will in a game? And Kongor's going to fall. We'll see who's going to pick it up, actually.
Kongor goes down!
Yeah, exactly. Has another 2.3 gold saved up. We'll see where he chooses to go.
I'm sure it's going to be typical. I mean, again, this is a team that they even when they have a lead like this, you won't see them troll as much as maybe other teams will, like a Codex or more of the fun build like out of them. Not, I assume we're still just going to see the simple Shrunken Head build now on Wretched Hag. After that, and there you go, the Mighty Blade purchased. Yeah, they're here to win. There's good money on the line. $8,000 in total. $5,000 to the winner, $3,000 to the runner-up, of course. So. Here for Cycle 1, and points are always important too. And
they have the history of it as well.
Yes. Yes.
Obviously, you want to be able to defeat them. And if FSG wins this, they're one game away from winning onto Cycle 1.
Well, that's actually a funny point. Just in general, all these players have history with one another for quite a long time. Some drama and just some not even liking each other to an extent. But also, I think this might be the first time Zai's playing up against Limpin' My Nuts here, as far as his former teammates. So.
The Hellborn takes down a Legion Tower.
Play for them now, so that's even another thing that kind of adds to this. You could say, I guess, kind of a rivalry here.
Of course, Mega Smurf in the biggest rivalry in this game.
Yes, he's the one that's like, guys.
He is against all the HoNcast viewers that are going to judge him.
Exactly.
So he's got to prove it.
That's what I was saying, man. I was worried for him for that reason, but hey, he's 4-on-1. He's done his job, man. He had a nice global ultimate to help save Wretched Hag at the top lane. I think he's done just a fine job here.
I mean, even if you check the map right now, a lot of wards from Hellborn as well. So
yeah,
he's keeping those up. And here goes the final push, maybe, Berkey. We're going to see if they can actually break through the base.
Yeah.
Now, you do have a buyback on Trelfmador and on B-Kid if they want it. So they're, like I said before, they're going to have to be fighting with buybacks. That's just how it is against the push lineup. You have to have extra lives on your team because you're not going to win 5v5. You need to win 7-on-5 or 8-on-5.
Yeah.
In this, in this case, but they're going to back out a bit, waiting for the light brand, which is purchased by Limp, so he's going to have a Dawnbringer now.
Oh my gosh.
To work with.
Dawnbringer Souls, I mean, that is just absurd. It's 570 gold per minute just about. Coming out for Limp playing the bird here. And there's the Dawnbringer delivered. Portal Key is picked up by Keeper of the Forest, so he did go the rest of the zone first. But it still is a good pickup in the end. If you get it off before Sandwraith jump or ulties, then obviously still more than worth it. But
Team USA is going to play very passive now, so then they just want to end the game. They want to force the game to be over and go for game 2, and that's, if they can't jump in the base, then it's going to take a lot of slow pushes and a couple of minutes of pushing the base over and over, and it's just going to speed up the process. They can force the team fight. Thief's already in position. He's like, guys, I'm ready. And the truck going to purchase by Swindle, though, so I think that's what they're waiting for. And they're definitely going to be ready to go now.
Yep, that had to be. I mean, they're already grouped up at the bottom lane, as you're mentioning. Wretched Hag buying that Struck ahead, headed down there now. So you talk about the buyback situation on the Legion side. You got right now Tralfa playing the Sandwraith. B-Kid on his Pebbles here. They're the only ones with buyback currently. Barbed Armor finished on Pharaoh. That's definitely a solid item to have, especially like Zephyr, who's dealing constant AoE damage. But is it enough is the question.
Nope, Siege doesn't care right now, though. He's going to be walking up to the base.
Yeah.
On that Zephyr.
He's not even the one with the token.
They even have a barrier. I don't even know. He might even forget to use that. No, he's going to use it right now.
Forget to use it. Come on.
He's like, maybe we don't need it, guys. But they're going to go for this push now. Goo going to be dropped as well from MOA, just preventing them from even being in that area because of how much damage they're going to take. But
yeah.
Team USA has to react very soon. And they're going to be the ones that want to initiate because actually at the same time they can take they might even want to force SG to initiate because of the buyback situation. But we're gonna see how much they actually force the issue of them, making SG go on B-Kid or go on Trail just because they have a buyback, and if they're gonna fall for that.
Yeah.
But Tower's slowly dropping, and that's the whole reason why SG's kind of playing this game.
Well, you see the top lane again, the creep wave knocking on the door at least in favor of Team USA, but by no means is it a panic mode for Stay Green to get back there and defend it. They can just kind of rinse and repeat here, keep the Legion team in their base, keep the resources being hindered. 2 minutes and 20 seconds still remaining on a token alive, so they have easily 3 or 4 more creep waves even if they want to go for it. We're going to push it right here. This tower, it's going to fall now. Will it be 9? Nope, it's going to be easily killed. And now the racks. Now you say if you're Legion side, you can't give up 2 sets of racks. One is one thing, but there we go. Pebbles jumping to the background. Auto-Ophelia actually deems the massive call, comes out. He still has the Ophelia's touch. He's gonna use it right there. And that may be a chest or Limp with that Cyclone down. We do see the kill on a Pharaoh already. Samurai trying to do what he can, but he is locked down in the midst of it all. He's gonna be picked off. So they did end up killing Ophelia right there. But obviously it just doesn't matter. Just too much strength, too much team support. You're not killing this team. And down goes the melee racks. Pebbles still wants something. He's going to go back in right here after the buyback. He does find Keeper the Force. Keeper, though, going to start fighting back. Master of Arms puts the stun out. Pebbles going to end up falling after jumping back in. And now Samwraith is chasing, wants to get the kill and support. Oh, he will get it, but at what cost, man? Can he get through? Nope. There you go. GG, well played. Skasivo goes through. There you go. Game number 1 in favor of Stay Green, man.
Yeah, very convincing. Game 2.
Yeah. Well, game 1, yeah, whatever you want to call it, but they're up 2 games to nothing now, and a best of 5 is what matters. Is Stay Green as a result of that victory. And yeah, it's this team, even without Chessie apparently, it doesn't seem to phase them. Mega Smurfin stepped in nicely here, and Limp's like, I got Zephyr. I know my brother plays it too, but I play just as good as him, if not better. I'm sure he'd say he plays it better.
That's what I love about a lot of HoN teams, is that there's a lot of players in this game that are very versatile with their roles.
Yeah.
Just like I could name a whole bunch of them that can play several roles. You look at Too Much Sugar, almost every player on that team can play almost any role in the game. Same thing with FG. You know, Z-Pick showed that's the first time I've ever seen him go suicide, and he did awesome that game, and you know, he tended to farm a lot. And Limp, you know, showing that he can carry, even though he's usually playing that initiating or suiciding role.
Yeah.
He's doing great. Oh, and Chetty's on line, too.
Is he? Okay, I was going to say, like I said, I think he was going to be coming back at least for Game 2, so, and I just joined the new lobby, and he sure enough is in there, as people can see, so, Jesse going to be replacing. Well, played by Mega Smurfin. I'm sure it was fun for him to step in and do his job, help his team earn a victory, but Jesse is a star after all. God's got to get a spot back.
Yes, Jesse.
Anyways, Pandy, we're going to take a short break here as always, but we got game number 2 just around the corner. Stay Green on the verge of sweeping Team USA here in the grand finals, taking out